Hello, Jaguar students. It's your friendly neighborhood math teacher, Mr. R. We're going to talk today about mini lesson number 4, finding slope with 2 points. This is our last mini lesson in Unit 6, and it will be your 5th entry in your table of contents. Okay, we're going to talk about something today that's pretty important as you go on into 8th grade next year in your math classes and try to take Math 1. This will be something that you'll definitely be asked to do in that Math 1 class. So we're going to talk about it a little bit today, just get a little introduction on it, so that when next year, when Miss Borland or Miss Capps asks you to find the slope of a line with 2 points, you'll be able to do that. Okay. What I've done for you here on the screen is I've actually taken that problem that's in the middle of your paper, that problem right here that's in the middle, and I've just enlarged it there for you on that screen. Because I know our copier wasn't the best today when you look at that piece of paper. You can't really see all the coordinates. So what I want you to do is I want you to look at the middle of your paper. I want you to look at this first part that says, what do I already know? I want you to actually pause your video in a second and try to find the slope of this line using what you already know. So please pause your video and look there at that first problem. Thank you. Awesome job. I really appreciate it. I hope that you tried it. I hope you might have found some success. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you did. We'll talk about that in just a second. The first thing I want to do after that is I want to refresh about slope and what it is. In mini lesson 2, we said that slope was the rise over the run of a line. We said it was the rate of change of a line. Okay, we gave 2 different definitions for it. Those are really the same thing. We'll talk more and more about that today. But we said it was the rise over run of a line. That was our definition for slope. We actually counted between 2 points, found the rise and the run, and then wrote it as a simplified fraction in one ratio. We said a line has a positive slope if it goes up from left to right. If the y values on the right are higher than the y values on the left, we said it was positive. We said it had a negative slope if it went down from left to right. So if the y values on the right are lower than the y values on the left, we said it was negative. We said a line had 0 slope if it's a horizontal line with no rise. It just runs all the way horizontally. And we said it was undefined if it was vertical with no run at all. Those are our notes for just the beginning. So today we're going to talk about finding the slope of a line if I just have 2 different points on the line. What you'll see is if you flip your paper over to the back, these are just some examples of some practice problems that you might try later today. And I'm going to give you 2 coordinates, and I'm asking you to find the slope of the line with just those 2 coordinates. Okay. The way that you'll talk about it next year when you take Math 1, hopefully, is you'll say that to find the slope of a line given 2 points, you're going to find the change in y over the change in x. So the change in y over the change in x. And we'll talk more about how to do that here in this first example. We'll talk about it right now, actually. It's exactly what we'll do. So if you look at these 2 points, you've got 4, 3, and negative 2, 1. If you want to find the change in y, I'm going to take one y coordinate, the 3, and subtract 1 from it. That would be the change in the y values. And then I'm going to take the change in x. So I'm going to look at these 2 x values, 4 and negative 2. I'm going to subtract those. It's important to note that I subtracted in the same order both times. So I made sure that when I did 3 minus 1 the first time, I had to make sure that I subtracted the coordinates in the same order the second time that I did it. So I did 4 minus negative 2 and 3 minus 1. I wrote that as a fraction first, a ratio. 3 minus 1 is 2, and 4 minus negative 2 is 6. 2 over 6. I can simplify that to 1/3, and I would say that, hey, that's my final answer there for the slope of that line. The slope of that line is 1/3. Maybe that's the same thing you got earlier when I asked you to look at that same line, and maybe it's not. If it is, great job. If it's not, maybe look over my notes one more time and see if you can understand them. Okay, we're going to find the change in y. We're going to subtract the 2 y values, and then we're going to find the change in x. We're going to subtract the 2 x values. We need to make sure we subtract the coordinates in the same order both times when we do that. So what I'm going to ask you to do is just go ahead and start to practice some of these. I'm going to look down here at the bottom at these 2 examples that I have here for you. I want you to try to find the slope of those 2 lines. Remember, we said it was the change in y over the change in x. I want you to pause your video and work on those 2 questions if you can. When you resume it, I'll go over them for you, and then I'll leave you be on the back. So please pause it, work on those 2 questions. When you're done, click play again so you can see if you got them right. Thank you. So I hope you looked at number 1 and number 2 there. I've got 4, 5, and negative 2, 2. What I did there for that first one was I subtracted 5 and 2. And when I subtracted 5 and 2, I got positive 3. And then I subtracted 4 and negative 2. When I subtracted 4 and negative 2, I got positive 6. So I got 3, 6 there for that first example. I simplify that to 1 half for that first example there. So I'm going to call the slope of that line 1 half. Keep in mind what I did. I did 5 minus 2 the first time to find the change in y. And then I did 4 minus negative 2 the second time to find the change in x. 5 minus 2 is 3. 4 minus negative 2 is positive 6. I got 1 half there. The second one, I decided I would look at that second ordered pair first because the bigger numbers are on that side. It doesn't really matter, but that's the ones I chose. I did 5 minus 2, and I got 3. And I did 6 minus negative 3, and I got 9. 3 9 simplifies to a fraction, kind of like 1/3. So I'm going to call the slope of that last line 1/3 on that second example. Okay. All I've done for you is I've done 3 examples for you. I haven't really done a whole lot for you, but I want you to look at your notes. I want you to look at the example problems that we did and maybe ask a partner, ask a friend, see if you can't go back, flip it over to the back and work on some of these problems on the back for homework. You're going to find the slope of those lines given only 2 points. You could try to maybe draw a graph and graph it. You don't really need to because you can use the formula that I've given you. Okay, try your best. Make it a great day or not. The choice is yours. Thank you.